You know it was me all the time, didn't you? So I'm really responsible.
No, not alone. You're only partly to blame, just like your father is.
But what did Sheila do?
I went to her manager at Millwards and told him that if they didn't get rid of that girl, I'd never go near place, and I'd persuade Mother to close our account with them.
Why you did that is not important for now. But it's a fact that Eva Smith lost her job with Burling and Company and at least found another job at a big shop and had to go. Now she had to find something else. And first she changed her name to Daisy Renton.
What?
Well, up till now we got to know that Sheila and Mr. Burling are more or less responsible for Eva Smith's death. And I think Gerald knows the name Daisy Renton very well. Now it's his turn. And the inspector gets to know that Gerald had a love affair with Eva. Well, of course he paid her flat and gave her some money, but after a few times he cancelled every contact to her, so that she was homeless once more. The next person who has a look at the photograph is Sybil Burling. Mrs. Burling is a prominent member of the Bromley Women's Charity Organization. Eva Smith hoped to find help in this organization, but Mrs. Burling refused her any assistance, although Eva was homeless and pregnant. But how could she become pregnant? Well, Eric Burling knows that now it's his turn.
You know it, don't you?
Yes, we know.
Eric, I can't believe it. There must be some mistake. You don't know what we've been saying.
It's a good job for him he doesn't, isn't it?
Why?
Because Mother blamed everything on the young man who got Eva Smith into trouble.
But I didn't know it was you. I never dreamed. Besides, you're not that type. You don't get drunk.
Of course, I told you, but you don't believe me.
You told her? You little bitch.
When did you first meet the girl?
One night, last November, I met her in the Palace Bar. I had been there 1 hour or so with 2 or 3 chaps. I was a bit squiffy.
What happened then?
I began talking to her and stood her a few drinks. I was rather forgone. By the time we had to go, she was drunk too.
Did you went with her to her lodgings that night?
Yes, first she didn't want, but I insisted.
Did you meet her again?
Yes, and as we met again, we talked a bit and made love again. After that we met again. This time she told me she was going to have a baby. I gave her enough money to keep her going until she refused to take any more.
Where did you get the money?
From the office. Your office. Yes, I stole it.
What? You stole money from your father's office? Eric, how could you?
Later, please. So, the girl discovered that the money you want to give her was stolen, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And instead of taking this money, she went to Mrs. Burling's committee for help after she'd done with you.
Oh, I remember. I refused that help, but I didn't know that she really needed help. I didn't know.
This girl killed herself, but each of you helped to kill her. Remember that. Never forget it. Remember what you did, Mrs. Burling. You turned her away when she most needed help. You refused her even the pitiable little bit of organized charity you had in your power to grant her. But now it's too late. One Eva Smith has gone, but there are more Eva Smith and John Smith still left with us, with their lives, their hopes and fears, their suffering, and chance of happiness, all intertwined with our lives, with what we think and say and do. We don't live alone, we are members of one body, we are responsible for each other, and I will tell you that the time will soon come when, if men will not learn that lesson, then they will be taught it in fire and blood and anguish. Good night.
We're all guilty. Father, you turned her out of a job, and I turned her out of another. Gerald, he kept her at a time when you was too busy to see me. Eric, well, we know what Eric did. And Mother hardened her heart to gave her the final push. That finished her.
Are you sure that this was real, Inspector? I mean, how can a simple policeman discover so much in such a short time?
Miss Burling speaking. What?
Yes?
Good night.
What happened?
That was the police. A girl has just died on the way to the hospital after swallowing some disinfectant, and a police inspector is on his way here to ask some questions.